Don't freak out. I'm going to show you exactly, especially if you have a Nikon camera, how you go something looking horrible like this, or even worse, to having something looking a little more like this. So stay tuned for this video. I'm going to show you exactly how you do that for your Nikon camera or just any DSLR. Stay tuned. So currently, if you have a Nikon camera and you're like, why do my videos suck? And why is the lighting or the settings I put on the camera, I'm doing it all what you're saying, but it doesn't look as optimal. So for example, let's say I'm super dark in this situation right now. So what would I do? I would crank up the ISO, right? There, now you can see me. Hi guys. But as you can probably see in the video, it is very grainy, and some people don't even know the right shutter speed, so they would probably put like 1/125, so now I look really weird. And as you can see, it is electronically lightened, essentially by just cranking up the ISO. But that's not what you want to do, especially if you have a Nikon camera and you want to make it look more cinematic, more professional, and essentially just use the best bang for your buck for your video camera settings. So like I did in my other videos, there's 3 pillars to essentially having the best cinematic look for your DSLR videos, even if it's a super budget camera. Number 1 is crank down your ISO. All right. You can't see me. Tip number 2, crank up your shutter speed, right? So now I am 1/50, 3.5 aperture, and 100 ISO. Pillar number 2, because pillar number 1 is all about video settings, right? Having the lowest noise possible to ensure your Nikon, your Canon, your Sony, whatever, is using its sensor to its best of its ability and you're not putting too much stress on the camera. Number 2 pillar is lighting. Invest in lighting. Lighting will save your life. If you want to see what lighting I'm using right now, link is in the description. Is a Neewer Softbox, and look at this, right? It's really bad now, but as you can see right now, I have a little bit of that Rembrandt lighting. You can change up your ISO if you wanted to a little bit, crank it up a little bit, but I am at the lowest possible ISO for my camera and it just looks really clean, and you can't even tell if I put this video out there that I'm actually using a 10-year-old camera, which is a Nikon D5200, even with a kit lens right now. And that is the second pillar, right? The second pillar to making your most video look crisp and clean as possible is your lighting, right? I would say, some would argue, is that your lighting is even more important than the actual video camera that you're using. And if you want more videos like this, I can even prove to you guys that I'm gonna make my phone, put it on the tripod with the exact same lighting setup, and if anything, my phone shoots 4K and it'll probably look even better. And my last and final point when it comes to making your videos look the most cinematic, most bang for your buck, more professional in general, even if you have a Nikon like me, D5200, is color grading and color correction. As you can see, this is the raw video file with the neutral balance profile, and this is what you get if you don't color correct it, you don't do anything to the footage itself. This is what it looks like, but now is for some movie magic, and you want to apply some color grading and color correcting. And as you can see, there's a big difference from before and after. And yes, I know that not everyone knows the super detailed science, because color correcting and color grading can get complicated. I'm going to show you in my computer in a minute, but for the purposes of this video, you can purchase my Nikon video LUTs and presets. There are 4 Adobe Premiere presets. All you do is you drag and drop onto your video file, and you'll look exactly like this without having to know how to properly color grade or correct. And with just simple adjustments, you can make your video look exactly like mine. Exactly, like a replica, like a clone. On top of that, there's also 4 After Effects Lumetri presets as well. And on a bonus of that is 4 Lightroom presets for your Nikon photos that I used. Link is in the description if you want to support the channel. Buy my presets, check that out. And this is for a limited time, and if people want more, I might go into season 2 or season 3 of different video LUTs and presets, but this is the first season. Get it while supplies still last. And I'm going to jump into my laptop to show you exactly how you use them, and that will help you take your footage look pretty good for a YouTube video. What up guys, now we are in Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2020. So I just want to prove it to you guys that I am actually using the same footage. It's not some 4K. I'm not trying to pull wool over your eyes. It is my standard Nikon D5200 video format, as you can see here. So here is the raw video file that I have here without having it graded or anything, right? So what you do is I have a video preset that I made personally for this Nikon camera that you can use. Link is in the description, by the way. If you do want to support the channel and support me, purchase it, buy it now, limited supplies. So I just go, there's essentially 4 presets, but I'm going to use either this guy right here, as you can see, or the other one. And all you do is drag and drop. Actually, the red. This one looks a little bit more natural. And depending on the footage that you use, you might need to do a little bit of adjustments. So I would go into Lumetri color, bump up the exposure a little bit more. And as you can see, I know, funny facial expression, but by simply just dragging and dropping that footage, that clip on, that preset onto my clip, how much a difference that actually makes to your videos. And you don't need years of trial and experience or whatever to have a video just like yours look just like mine. So as you can see here, the before and after, it is why you essentially need to know some sort of color grading or correction so you can use the best of your abilities, your video. Because yes, you can have a 10-year-old camera, and yes, you can, let's say, get away with having a really good lighting, but as you can tell, good lighting versus with the combination of all 3 pillars, having good lighting, good camera settings, link is in the description as well as having a good preset or a LUT that you can just drag and drop onto your video file and just adjust it a little bit, and you can have something that looks okay to, wow, that looks completely different, and I didn't even know that my Nikon camera could do that, right? And now you guys can edit, color correct just like me, and you don't have to go through the years and experience of actually having to learn it. All you do is drag, like I said, just drag it and drop it. Depending on your video settings, you might need to do a little adjustment here and there with like the exposure, but that's it. That is all you need to do. Yes, you could just learn it through a tutorial and all that, but the reality is, if you're just a casual hobbyist or beginner, and there's not a lot of Nikon presets out there, so I wanted to help you guys, help me, help you, help me, if that makes sense. So all you do, drag and drop, and as you can see this, it's almost like bringing your video to life with the 3 pillars I mentioned, right? And if you want this exact preset, link is in the description, and this is made specifically for Nikon, but any DSLR this works as well. So now you know all the cinematic tricks and secrets of how I took my camera from looking really bad and crap to pretty darn passable as a YouTube video 1080p for a 10-year-old camera. So like I said, if you want to check out that LUT pack, link is in the description and in the comments. And if you want to check out my lighting setups, all those videos and links to the products are in the description below, so you can take your average looking video to make it look pretty decent even if you are a complete beginner. My name is Peter, you're watching a Broke Visionary Collective, where we all start with nothing, but you can always create something. Cheers.